In the first question, we're asked to find the magnitude and the direction of each of the vectors. Okay, so starting with vector v. So remember to find magnitude. If you think of those as the x and y component is a, b, the magnitude of any vector is going to be the square root of a squared plus b squared. It's the Pythagorean theorem. So for vector v, the magnitude will be the square root of negative 3 squared plus negative 2 squared. Remember that even when you square negative, you'll always get a positive number. So if your calculator is giving you a negative number here, that means that you are forgetting to put your parentheses into the calculator. So you should be getting that the magnitude of vector v is radical 13. To find the direction of a vector, we're using the inverse tangent ratio. And it's always going to be the y over the x. So for the direction of vector v, we're going to type into our calculator the inverse tangent of negative 2, because that's the y coordinate, negative 2 over negative 3. Now vector v, if I'm thinking about its graph, it has a terminal point at negative 3, negative 2, which is over here in quadrant 3. So when I go to my calculator, I'm going to find out that the inverse tangent of negative 2 over negative 3 is 33.69 degrees. But in quadrant 3, I have to add 180. So the actual answer is 213.69 degrees. We're going to repeat for vector u. So for vector u, we're going to find out that the magnitude is the square root of 2 squared plus 9 squared, which is the square root of 67. And we're going to do the inverse tangent of 9 over 2. Now, that is in vector 1, so I don't need to change anything once I have the answer in the calculator. So we'll find out that that is 77.47 degrees. And then lastly, vector w. So vector w will have a magnitude. Oh, don't get your magnitude symbols everywhere. Vector w will have a magnitude of 4. 0 squared plus 4 squared, 16. And the square root of 16 is 4. I can try to do the inverse tangent, but I have negative 4 divided by 0. And you know that you can't divide by 0. Your calculator will even confirm this for you. If you go to type this into your calculator, it will say error, divide by 0. So this one we're going to have to think of graphically. So w is at 0, negative 4. There's a graph. Here, 0, negative 4. Okay, well, what's that angle? It is due south. You can say due south. Or if you're in standard position, starting from the positive x-axis, that is 270 degrees, because each quadrant is 90 degrees. So 90 times 3, 270 degrees. All right, so next we're asked to find the unit vector of each of these. Remember that a unit vector is going to be the original vector divided by its magnitude. Be strategic. We've already solved for magnitude. So let's find vector v. The original vector v is negative 3, negative 2. But we're going to be dividing by its magnitude. If we look back, we found that the magnitude for v was radical 13. So we're just going to divide everything here by radical 13. No need to simplify. For vector u, our magnitude was radical 67. Yep, right there, radical 67. So we're going to take the original and just divide it by radical 67. Same thing for vector w. The magnitude was 4. So we're going to take the original and divide it by 4. Now there is some simplifying that can be done here. So let's do that. 0 divided by 4 is just 0. Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. All right, in problem 3, we're expressing it in terms of the unit vectors I and j. So remember, I is the horizontal, j is the vertical. So vector v goes down 3, left 3 in the horizontal direction, and then down 2 in the vertical direction. Notice I'm using the same numbers. I'm really just attaching an I and a j. Notice the answer has no brackets, no commas. Vector u will be 2 i's and positive 9 j's. Vector w will be no i's, so we don't write I at all, and negative 4 j's. All right, so now we're going to be performing the vector operations. So remember that you are adding the x components and you're adding the y components. So in part A, when we're asked to add u and v, we're going to add the horizontal components. 2 and negative 3 is negative 1, and then we're going to add the vertical. 9 and negative 2 is positive 7. Same thing for subtracting. Watch your negatives here. 2 minus negative 3 is positive 5. 9 minus negative 2 is positive 11. To add u and w, we're going to add the x components. 2 and 0 is 2. And then add the y components. 9 and negative 4 is positive 5. Okay, subtracting. W minus v. So we're going to do 0. We're going to do 0 minus negative 3. Watch your signs there. That's going to be positive 3. And then negative 4 minus negative 2. Watch your signs. That is negative 2. All right, then we're going to be multiplying. So 3 times u. Think of this as distributing. We're multiplying both the x and y components by 3. So we will get 627. And then putting those operations together. 3u, well, we already know that's 627. Minus 2v. Well, 2v is negative 6, negative 4. Watch your signs here because we have double negatives. 6 minus negative 6 is 12. 27 minus negative 4 is 31. All right, g I'm going to put down here. 5 times w, so I'm multiplying everything by 5. 0 times 5 is still 0. And then for h, we're going to do 4w minus 3u. So 4w is 0, negative 16, minus 3u, which is 627. And then we're going to subtract carefully, watching our negatives. 0 minus 6 is negative 6. Negative 16 minus 27 is negative 43.